Okay, so we have a motion to direct staff to put out an RFP for the animal shelter.
Well, the RFP is we're asking for it because we're trying. Janice wants to try to change it to a 5-year contract, right? So,
But we can do that at negotiations, when we negotiate with them.
and okay, on the agenda it says to negotiate or go 1 year extension or a 3-year contract. Where is it at? I'm sorry. Or renegotiate 3-year.
Or give other direction.
So if we renegotiate a 3-year, it's still with them, right? We don't have to put it out to RFP.
You don't have to put, no, that's a council decision whether to go RFP. That's,
So
you can do one of these other things that's also suggested, or pretty much anything.
what's better for what's? I don't know if I can ask them that, but
Well, can I clarify my position? Maybe that will add the clarity. My only reason for going for an RFP for 5 years was to give them the opportunity for the 5-year contract because I love them and I want them to be able to get the money that they need. And I fully am convinced that they're the ones that would get the contract. However, if that's not something that they're comfortable with, I want to support them. So
But that's not really fair to be asking them that comment and them nodding their head or whatever, because
I think it's entirely fair.
there's other people that are interested in what do you call it, bidding.
Okay.
I don't have a better term, and that's not being very transparent if we don't put it out to RFP.
I think that there are a lot of contracts that are renewed on a regular basis that aren't put out for an RFP if people are happy with the services they're getting. And
Unless there's an actual renewal clause, that's not true. So,
Okay.
Most of our contracts, if there's a renewal clause, we will bring the renewal to you for approval. If there's not a renewal clause, then we go out to RFP. We've done that with our service providers on a regular basis.
okay, so now here comes my beef. There was no clause, there was no contract attached to my staff report. So I have no idea whether or not, I could not read whether or not there was a renewal clause or not.
It says, in the staff report, it tells you it was a 3-year contract with
Okay.
3 1-year renewal periods
A 3-year
possible.
contract with 1 year. Oh, I
So
see.
1 year at a time for 3 years.
Oh, so I guess what we could do is just renew it as an alternative to an RFP, just renew it for the next year? Is that, I mean, I'm sorry,
Well,
I had prepared for the full 5 years and,
Well, couldn't we do an RFP that's for 5 years? Couldn't we do an RFP for 5 years?
The RFP is to let other people get involved in the process, and you might pick someone else.
Well, if
if
you
you
get in
want
the
to
pro-
stay with this lessee, you have built into the contract 3 1-year extension provisions. It also says, or give staff other direction, and the other direction could be give them 5 years, give them 3 now at once, do an RFP. You really have your choice.
So we have a choice that we go with an RFP that says whoever applies is doing it for a 5-year term.
Maybe, but they may not want 5 years.
Okay,
Yeah, but
they
then you
wouldn't-
lock yourself in for a 5-year lease, which I don't, you may be
But that can be
comfortable with that?
negotiated
Yeah.
at the time when if we accept Friends' proposal, and that can be negotiated at that time, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so
If they're the ones
you
you
don't
choose.
have to put that in the RFP.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
there's a motion for it.
To go out for, no, we're not putting a term limit on it. Just go out for an RFP.
Was that Janice's motion?
That was not my motion.
No, that was my motion. And go out for an RFP
That's-
and then negotiate the terms after we figure out what's the best for the city and we're being transparent. So do I have a second on that?
I'll second.
All right, so let's vote. Okay, so we go to an RFP.